Start again, guys. I'm very sorry. I was muted there. Smash the like, get subscribing and all that. Come on, look. It's same old, in it when it comes to Spurs. It's just fucking doom and gloom in it right now. Doom and gloom. I've even got me light going. What's going on, guys? Anyway, honestly, this is what Spurs is doing to me. I can't even get things right straight away. You know what I mean? Here we are, guys. Here we are with another defeat in the league. What's that now? 11? No, 12 Premier League defeats, isn't it? 12 defeats in the league. Back to back derby defeats. North London derby defeats in it. It's just just complete chaos, isn't it, guys? Just complete chaos, guys. But come on. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section right now. Are Spurs going down? Let's face it, we are in a relegation fight. We all know that one. We got to speak reality right now. We can't all sit here and say, yeah, we're not in a relegation scrap. We're not going down. We're too good to go down. No, that's bullshit. Let's talk reality right now. We are in a relegation fight. So my question to you, put it in the comments. Are we going down? Yes or no? Are we going down? Yes or no? Hit us up in the comments, guys. Get smashed the likes as well. I want to hear your thoughts on that one, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on that, guys. Chuck them in the comments. Are Tottenham going down into the Championship? Yes or no? Put them in the comments. Hit us up in the comments, guys. Hit us up in the comments. But to lose back-to-back defeats against the Gunners the way we did, totally unacceptable. We all know that one. Totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. You know, going back to the game itself, I thought, in my opinion, not we got off to an okay start compared to how we were previous games, and especially the way we played against the Gunners only a few months back. A lot better, but still it was shit. You know what I mean? It was still shit, but still a lot better. I know that sounds weird, but it's true, right? I thought the likes of Basuma was trying, played very, very well, very, very well. But there's still a majority of Spurs players there that are just like, do you actually want to wear that shirt? Do you actually want to wear that shirt and try your hardest to keep Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in the league? Or are you just playing for fun? You know you're raking in so much money each week. You know you're going to go to another a big club in the summer and so on. But it's one big massive mess right now, isn't it? One big mess, and it's just a living nightmare that we just can't get out of. A living nightmare we can't get out of, and this cannot continue. This cannot continue, guys. This cannot continue. But obviously, yeah, we're going to go down, aren't we? We're going to go down, and it had to be. It had to be Eze, didn't it? Now, the last time Eze got a goal for the Gunners, if I remember rightly, was the first North London derby of this season. Seems to be the only time Eze scores, doesn't it? And you know the way we let Eze score was yeah, fucking shambolic, wasn't it? Shambolic. Mawani losing his runner. Eze crept in, bang, 1-0. Know what I mean? And that was from it was either from, I can't remember, it was either from a cross or a corner, one of the two. I know it was crossed in. But yeah, honestly, it's just, you know what I mean? And obviously, wasn't even a minute. A minute went by, and then by some miracle, we pulled it back. Mawani, in some ways, like saying sorry to the fans, you know, so I wasn't marking Eze, blah 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 blah. You know, Declan Rice lost the ball. He did. Made a big kerfuffle of that one, losing the ball. And yeah, by some miracle, we equalised. And we're all jumping for joy, screaming like there's no tomorrow, thinking, yeah, we're back in the game. We're back in this. You know what I mean? We can get something from this. You know what I mean? In my last stream before kickoff yesterday, I'm saying to me viewers, you know, something's telling me we're going to get something from this game. 2-2. I'm going Tottenham and Arsenal to draw, and it's going to be 2-2. Obviously, I wanted Spurs to win. You know. But yeah, we're sitting at 1-1. 1-1 at half time. Thinking, okay, 1-1 at half time. 1-1 at half time. What's the second half going to bring? What is the second half going to bring? Keep the comments rolling in, guys. Keep the comments rolling in. Are we going to get relegated? Yes or no? That's my question to you guys. Put them in the comments, guys, and I'll get onto that very, very shortly. But I'm just talking about the game at the moment. But yeah, half time, 1-1. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, okay. Let's see what happens here. There's another big 45 minutes. You know what I mean? We're at home, even though our home form has been piss poor, but it has. But, you know, the fans that are there, that were there yesterday, had to be the 12th man, had to make that noise. Like I said on my stream yesterday, they had to make that noise. Make the Arsenal fans sat in their little corner, you know, the Arsenal players on the pitch, make them feel this small. Make them feel this small. Make as much noise as possible. And it just weren't happening, was it? It was just, there was little glimpses here and there. But it just weren't enough. And like I said, the players on the pitch, the likes of Mickey Van der Ven, I'll get onto that again very, very shortly. I think you know what I'm going to say. But it just wasn't enough in the end, was it? Obviously, Arsenal went up to went 2-1 up, didn't they? Draguzin losing his runner, you know, creating that big space there for Gyökeres, wasn't it? 2-1 Arsenal. Here we go again. Same old, same old, same old. We can't defend to save our fucking lives. 2-1 the Gunners. And here we go again. And what pissed me off was when it was still 2-1, Gallagher crossing the ball in. 2-2. Mawani's on 2 Premier League goals now. All of a sudden, now we've got Igor Tudor there. Now, again, my question to you, put that one in the comments, right? What I'm going to ask right now. Was that goal that was scored by Colin Mawani to make it 2-2? Obviously, it was ruled out. But in my opinion, how the fuck was it ruled out? For a so-called little push. Yeah, Gabriel dived. You could clearly see Gabriel dived. 100% he dived. And yet it didn't even go to VAR. Yet look at the... I can't remember when it was. It was when we played Liverpool. It was either this season or the season before. Same sort of scenario. You know, where it was either... I'm thinking back to it now. I'm sure it was Romero. Cristiano Romero was shoved. Same scenario, pushed, tap on the back, but obviously it was a little bit more than that with our defender, and Liverpool get away with murder, but then they do anyway, don't they? And that goal stood. So why is it not even? You know, you're letting one team get away with it, yet the other can't. It's just make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. It's like I've said before. It's with VAR itself, it's not used correctly. We all know that. You know, I feel that we should have ex-pros sitting in the VAR room. Let them take control of VAR. If we're going to continue using VAR, let them use VAR. Otherwise, what's the point? We're sitting here, you know, we're sitting here to this day, watching so-called refs sit in that VAR room and just talk a load of shit and just make it up as they go along. It's not used correctly. It's not used fairly. You know, it's just shit, innit? It's just really shit. And I felt in some ways, yeah, I know we did lose the game, but it cost us. That could have been a game changer. That could have been the game changer to go 2-2 at home. We're back in it. You know what I mean? It could have gave us a little boost. I know it's a big ask. It's a very big ask because we are shit right now. Let's not forget that we are shit. But that could have been the game changer. That could have been the boost. That could have got the fans back on side, making that noise and really piling that pressure on the Gunners. That section of fans in their little corner, making them quiet, making the Arsenal boys on the pitch, making them this small, making them hush. You know what I mean? Piling that pressure on them, but obviously that didn't happen. The goal was ruled out. Here we are, guys. Keep the comments rolling and I'll get on to you very, very shortly. But here we are. Here we are. And then before you know it, it's, yeah, the goal's disallowed. 3-1, 4-1, game's done. And in the end, it just turned out to be boys versus men, didn't it? It was, you know, it was just, we were just non-existent after that. It was just complete and utter shit and it turned out to be shambolic. But the other one that annoyed me was Mickey van der Ven. I don't know if any of you have seen this little clip. I didn't actually notice it yesterday during the game. It was only until obviously people have captured little glimpses here and there and you're seeing stuff on social media. But there was a little glimpse of Mickey van der Ven. You know, he's standing at the back, you know, in his back line, and you can see Igor Tudor trying to push him. He's trying to tell Mickey van der Ven what to do. Push up, he's saying, push up, push up, push up. And he's looking at Igor Tudor like, what the fuck? You don't tell me what to do. How dare you tell me what to do? I'll do what I want to do. Now, you know, I rate Mickey Van der Ven. He's a very good defender, but fuck me, man. When you see in that, do you really want to? Do you really? Do you really? Do you really? Do you really want to see? Do you really want to see a player wearing that shirt and their attitude fucking stinks? Of course we don't. Of course we don't. You know, it. We've seen enough of this from Christian Romero, haven't we? But to see this from Mickey Van der Ven as well, look, we all know he wants out. That's blatantly obvious. Mickey Van der Ven wants out. He wants out in the summer, along with Christian Romero. You know, even though he's been linked with a move away for the past 3 fucking seasons, he's been wanting out apparently. You know, but for a player of Mickey Van der Ven's quality, you know, not listening to Igor Tudor, you know. And it was only a couple of days before yesterday's kickoff. Mickey Van der Ven's being interviewed. I can't remember where it was now. I think it was somewhere. You know, with Sky, he was interviewed. You know, and he's saying, you know, we're trying our best, blah 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 blah. But then you see that yesterday, it's like, again, make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. You know what I mean? It's same old, same old, same old, innit? Same old, same old, same old, guys. Same old. Same old. You know? Same old, same old, same old. But yeah, like I said, to lose the game the way we did was, in the end, totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And it was, like I said again, it was boys versus men. Boys versus men. There's a lot of players that we had in our squad that shouldn't be there. That, you know, it's either their attitude stinks or they're just not good enough. You know what I mean? Going off subject, you know, Ange Postecoglou, you know, when he was managing a piss poor Spurs side, yeah, he managed to get a trophy. You know, I thank him for that. But, you know, there's swings and roundabouts here, you know what I mean? I was a bit 50-50 with him to begin with, but then he helped deliver that silverware. Obviously, Man United were piss poor. And we had to. Sounds silly, but we can thank them for that, because we just turned out to be we just happened to come out on top, didn't we? To get that, you know. But with Postecoglou, I was saying it before he got the sack. I was saying, look, stick with him until Christmas time, and let's see where we go from there. Because look, we've had top managers, we've had average managers. It's just been the same cycle time and time again. There's no change. And when there is change, it just gets worse. There's no change for the better. We are not seeing improvement. We're not seeing improvement. Look. Obviously, when Postecoglou got the boot, we're seeing Thomas Frank coming. You know what I mean? I didn't want Frank. Leave Frank at Brentford. He's doing a marvellous job at Brentford. That's his level. That is his level. He's out of his depth at Spurs. And look what happens. Out of his depth. You know what I mean? Fans are against him. You know, I'm not going to lie, I was against him in the end. Very nice manager, very nice guy. But he just wasn't fitting the Tottenham. I was going to say the Tottenham style, but what is the Tottenham style nowadays? I really don't know. But he just didn't fit that managerial position that we need. I know the board and the ownership don't help, and there's certain players in and around that squad that don't help, because that's true. It's just, again, it's that saying, we are rotten to the core. We are rotten to the core, guys. Rotten to the core. You know what I mean? And here we are. Here we are, guys. Please smash the likes. Please smash the likes. Get subscribing if you're new. I'm going to start getting into the comments now, guys. I'll put the comments on the screen so you can see them as well. What comments we got here? Are we going down? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. It's that saying, isn't it? You know, the fan base, the fan base is so divided. You know, this section of Spurs fans are saying, "Yeah, we deserve to go down. This the only way we're going to get the board out. It's the only way we're going to get Enoch, um, the Lewis family out." And the other section are saying the complete opposite. You know, it's. I'm not going to sit here and say we're not going to go down because look, let's face it, we are in a relegation fight. You got teams like Burnley, Burnley, Wolves. Look what Wolves done only last week against the Gunners. They were 2 goals down against the Gunners, yet they managed to pull it back and got a freaking point out of it. Yet fucking Spurs couldn't do that. Know what I mean? They couldn't organise a fucking piss up in a brewery. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is. Wolves are trying. They're on 9 points. They've got 1 win under their belt without double checking the tables. Burnley. Burnley on the weekend against Chelsea. They managed to hold on. Hold on. They were losing 1-0 and then they managed to get that goal. They managed to nick that goal and they got a point off Chelsea. There's no one on this earth you'd see Spurs do that. No way. No way. Then you've got West Ham, third from bottom. They're slowly creeping up on Tottenham now. They're on Tottenham's arses. They're only 4 points behind Spurs. To think there was a much bigger gap to begin with only a month or two ago, and now we're talking 4 points. They are 4 points behind Tottenham. And West Ham are trying. They're scoring the goals like Wolves and Burnley are doing. They're scoring the goals. They are trying. And what are Spurs doing? What are Spurs doing? We are struggling to score goals. We are struggling to create. We don't have a creative midfielder. We do, but they're on the sidelines, like your Madisons, your Kulusevskis, your Bergfields. They're all on the fucking sidelines. Kudus is another one. He's not due back to April. But then, you know, how true is that one? Kudus could be out for the rest of the season. You just don't know. And that's another topic I will get onto shortly. Our medical team, in my opinion, is absolutely shit. I've never known a team like it to have so many injuries. So many injuries. But here we are, guys. It's just that same old. And we can't get out of this living nightmare that we are in. But like I'm saying, you know, West Ham, going back to the January transfers, they're signing players. And now they're doing something for their fan base. You know, they're trying. You can see they're trying. They're scoring goals. They're creating. You know what I mean? Leeds managed to nick a point off Villa, didn't they? The weekend. They're down there in the mix. Nottingham Forest, they're a bit hit and miss. Nottingham Forest a bit hit and miss. I know. I didn't see the game against Liverpool, obviously, but to only lose 1-0 to Liverpool, you know, from what I heard and from what I saw, Liverpool were in the end very lucky to walk away with all 3 points. You know, scoring a 97th minute winner, was it? I'm sure it was, but you know, if that was Spurs, we would have probably lost to Liverpool. Probably been the same result as yesterday against the Gunners. You know, but these teams are trying. Palace is slowly creeping away now. It was only a few weeks ago they was in the mix, but they're slowly creeping away. They're slowly getting them points. They got another 3 points yesterday. You know what I mean? Winning 1-0. Spurs ain't doing that. Spurs ain't doing that. And with the remaining games we have left, I really, honestly, I can't see where we are going to get the points from. We've got, who's our next game on the weekend? Fulham at Craven Cottage. Now, you've only got to look back to when we last played Fulham. You know, again, I really can't see anything out of that game. You know, quickly thinking now, we lost 2-1, didn't we? I'm sure we lost 2-1 to them when we played Fulham. I'm sure it's 2-1 in the end. But that was a game that we should have won. These are teams we should be beating. Think back to Wolves. Again, early on in the season. You know what I mean? Paolini getting that equaliser, celebrating like we got the winner. You know what I mean? We've still got to play these teams, and I honestly can't see where we are going to get all 3 points from. You know what I mean? I'm just going to quickly, bear with me, guys. I'm just going to quickly, I wish I could put it up on the screen, but I can't. Our remaining fixtures, guys. I know we got Fulham on the weekend. Bear with me, guys. I'll get it up. Bear with me, guys. Where are we? What's going on here? What's going on? Hang on, guys. Hang on. Right, I know we got Fulham. Got Fulham on the weekend, and then I think, is it Chelsea? Is it Chelsea next? I can't remember now. No, it's Palace. So we're away to Fulham at Craven Cottage. They're not going to make it easy. Now, we've already witnessed that this season. We lost to them, didn't we? 2-1. Honestly, can't see where we're going to get the points from. So that could potentially be another loss there. Know what I mean? We're at home again. 5th of March against Palace. Palace, they're not going to make it easy. And we're certainly not going to make it easy for ourselves. You know what I mean? We're struggling to score the goals as it is. Away to Liverpool. Are we going to get anything there? Of course we're not. You know what I mean? Facing the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, you know, we struggle. That's another loss there, isn't it? Nottingham Forest, a relegation fight there. That's a relegation fight. And then we're going into April, away to Sunderland. You know, when we played Sunderland again only a few months back, we was lucky to walk away with a point. And then Brighton don't make it easy. And then Wolves, away to Wolves on the 25th of April. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. I honestly can't see where we're going to get the points from. And then we're away to Villa, 2nd of May, 9th of May, at home against Leeds. Another relegation fight there. Away to Chelsea. You know what I mean? We're piss poor against Chelsea. And then 24th of May, the last game of the season, and potentially our last game in the Premier League. 24th of May, at home, at the Lane, against the Toffees, Everton. So, guys, you tell me, where do you think we're going to get the points from out of those remaining games? Where are we going to get the points from? With Fulham up next. We've got Fulham, Palace, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Brighton, Wolves. Then going into May, Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, and Everton. 11 games remaining. Out of those 11 games remaining, how many points are Spurs going to get? How many points are we going to get? How many points are we going to get? Because it's not good. It's not good. And I am starting to face the fact now that we are going down. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are going down. We are going to be playing Championship football next season, and once you're sucked into that Championship, if you keep one eye on the Championship, it's one motherfucker to get out of. You need your goal scorers, you need your midfielders, your wingers, solid defence, keeper. Right now, we don't have that. And can you honestly see, if we are playing Championship football next season, can you honestly see Tottenham getting out of that on the first go? I can't. Honestly can't. I honestly can't. Hate to say it, but you know, with the way we are right now, it's just one big fucking mess, isn't it? And I really can't see Spurs getting out of that if that's the case. But again, guys, hit us up in the comments with that one there. Back into the comments, guys. Big up Ronnie. 12 days since game 5. Sorry, I'll say that again. 12 days since last game. 5 off. Frank gone, new manager, and still the same shit. Exactly. Same old, isn't it? Same old, same old. There's already fans out there actually saying, you know, Tudor out. Igor Tudor must go. You know what I mean? Our fan base is so freaking deluded. It's just, yeah, you couldn't write it. You really couldn't write it. Another comment here: your club didn't have a carry on for the bad moments. Keep calm and trust your manager. I'm trying my very best to trust Igor Tudor, but at the same time, we are down to the thin. We're down to the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? So many injuries, but at the same time, there is a majority of Spurs players that are, one, not fit enough to wear the shirt, and two, their attitude stinks. They don't want to be there. They clearly don't want to be there, even though they might come out on social media and say we're trying our very best, blah 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 blah. But fuck me, I'm just sick to death of hearing it. I really am sick to death of hearing it. It's bad enough. It's bad enough having to see these interviews. You know, the last one we see from the board was from Johan Lang, only back 3 weeks ago now, feeding us so much shit, feeding us so much stuff. You know, you know, we're trying, we're trying. You know, we're trying our very best. Blah 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 blah. We should be playing championship football. Sorry, championship football. Fucking hell. We should be playing Champions League football. We should be competing. We're top six. We're this. We're that. Blah 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 blah. But it's that saying, you know, that they're pulling the wool over our eyes. Over our eyes, you know. That another saying is, brush it under the carpet. Hope the likes of me and you forget what was said, what's been going on. That they're trying to hide what's actually going on. They're not waking up to what is going on. And again, is that saying of, do the board actually know what they're doing? Because they don't. They don't. The board haven't got fucking Scooby Doo what to do, how to deal with the situation. You know what I mean? Here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Here we are. Another comment here. Big up Jojo. If you see Frank down the street, what would you do? If I see Thomas Frank in the street, what would I do? What would I do? What would I do? I'm not gonna lie. I'd take him down the pub. I'd have a good chin wag with him, you know, and try and get it out of him. What was actually going on? It's that saying I've said many times, and I'll say it again. You'd love to be a fly on the wall, or just be invisible and actually see what goes on behind closed doors. You know what I mean? We've already seen glimpses of Thomas Frank's time at Tottenham. You know, for example, half time, he's got the boys together in the dressing room, and you can see Thomas Frank just talking, and you can see there's a majority of Spurs players just sitting there on their phones, or they're just looking at the ground. They're not focusing on. You can clearly see they're not focusing on Thomas Frank. You can see their body language. Just look at their body language. Just like I said, just the way they're sitting, they're looking down, head down. You know what I mean? It's that same cycle of same shit, different day, same shit, different day. Again, you know, I've said for the past few videos and streams I've done, I'd love to see Mickey van der Ven stay and Tottenham build around the likes of him. Give Van der Ven the captaincy, but obviously, again, going by yesterday, not listening to what Igor Tudor was saying, you know, move up the pitch, you know, don't just stand there, whatever, you know, not listening to Tudor's instructions. You're seeing that, and you're thinking, okay, now you're on the same wavelength as the others, like your Cristi Romero's, etc. You don't want to be there. You clearly don't want to be there. You know what I mean? It's here we are. Another comment here. Think you'll do okay in the Championship? I really don't think we will do okay in the Championship. Like I said earlier, if you didn't hear it, but if it's the case where we do get relegated to the Championship, there is no way we are coming back on that first go. I see Tottenham being sucked into the Championship, and we are in that for many seasons. Yeah, we got to sell players. That's what happens if you go down. You got to sell your so-called top players. Solanke won't be there. Vicario won't be there. You know what I mean? Christian Romero, Mickey Van der Ven definitely won't be there. Pedro Porro won't be there. Udogie won't be there. Who am I missing? Basuma, Gallagher, Madison, Kulusevski, Bergville, Kudus. They're all going to go. Sarr. They're all going to go. Solanke, Richarlison. Who am I missing? They're all going to go. They're all going to go. They're all going to go. If we're going to keep hold of anyone, it'll be someone like Tell, Odibert, maybe Sarr, because again, I'm not really rating Sarr just lately. I'm not really rating Sarr. You know what I mean? It's just going to be more doom and gloom. I know I've said before, but with the ownership, I'd like to think if we did go down, the ownership would set up. But then there's that saying again: if we do go down, who actually wants to buy that club? Who actually wants to buy that club? And again, being in the Championship, we would have the best stadium ever, the best stadium in the Championship, and every club in that Championship coming to the lane, it would be like coming to Wembley. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. To think what we've got, you'd think would be fucking dominating. You know, if you're not a football fan, and you're seeing that stadium, you're walking up the high road, and you see that stadium, and you'd think, wow, they must be a force in it. They must be a top football club, and they look into it and go, fuck, shit. You know what I mean? 2 trophies in 26 years. They're fighting a relegation battle. They've gone through manager after manager after manager after manager. When they look more into it, you can see their board has no ambition. The ownership has no ambition. There's nothing there. Same old, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. And when are we gonna fucking wake up from this living nightmare that we just seem to live in season after season after season? You know what I mean? Another comment here. Where are we? Big Pants. Who teaches the players to give the ball away and fall over? Oh boy, who teaches the players to give the ball away and fall over? Yeah, I know. But you talking about players falling over. You know, I know there's a certain gooner in the house, innit? Certain gooner in the house, you know. So my question to you is, when Tottenham went 2-2 against you boys yesterday, 2-2, Gabriel falling over the way he fucking did, it was a clear dive. We can all say it was a clear dive because it was. It was a clear dive. Yet VAR, the ref, Peter Banks, was it? Peter Banks, you know, completely forgot about what happened, waved it on, 2-1. That goal should have stood. Now, you know, delusional me thinking at the time that could have been a game changer to bring that back to 2-2. That could have been the game changer. That could have put the pressure on the players again. That could have made the section of Arsenal fans in their little corner very, very quiet, making no noise for their players. You know what I mean? Could have been the game changer. We don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know. It's like I said in my stream yesterday, a couple of hours before kickoff. You know, a little part of me is thinking, yeah, we got a new manager in Igor Tudor. From my understanding, every club he's been at in his first game in charge, he's won. He's guaranteed 3 points for that club. And again, little delusional me's thinking, okay, we could maybe get something out of this. And again, a little part of me's thinking, if teams like Brentford, Wolves, Like I said earlier, Wolves were fucking 2-0 down against the Gunners. They pulled it back. They got a very good point out of that. And I'm thinking, if these clubs here can do that, if these clubs here can do that, I'm sure Spurs can. obviously, that weren't the case, but you know, it does piss me off when you're seeing goals disallowed for pathetic things like that. It's just, it really upsets me. It really does. Really upsets me. It's one of them ones, isn't it? Pick and choose. The amount of times the likes of Liverpool get away with murder. You know, like I said earlier in my stream, there's a post on my Instagram. If you've not seen it, check it out. Flicks__1, by the way. With this, you can see what the socials are on the scroll along it. You know, but you know, a little scenario on there of what happened yesterday, and then you got the same sort of scenario with what happened when Tottenham played Liverpool. Little shove on the back. Obviously, that was Liverpool doing it. Spurs. I think it was Romero. Romero got pushed down, and you can clearly see in that one. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Spurs fan, but there was a clear foul in that one. I can't know if it was this season or last season. It wasn't that very recently. Let's put it that way. But Liverpool got away with murder, and their goal was allowed. So what's the difference with that to what happened yesterday? You know what I mean? it's just, yeah. It just really fucks me off. It really does. It really does. Another comment here, Big Pants. I saw a clip of Van der Ven ignoring Igor's instructions on Sunday. He disrespects our managers. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. I didn't actually see that during the game yesterday. It was only until after the game and you're seeing little little clips of what people have been putting on social media, etc. And what I'm seeing, I'm thinking, fuck, no, that can't be happening. You know, rumours are swirling around in the January sales. You know that Van der Ven's had enough. We all know Christian Romero's had enough as it is, but when you're seeing that, there is nowhere on this earth I want to see a Spurs player wearing that famous shirt. Yeah, they've got a fucking attitude like that. I don't want it. I don't want it. I really don't want it. I really don't want it. You know what I mean? Another comment here. Gabriel dive. Yeah, a real stunt man. Yeah, dude. You could clearly see it was a dive. Clearly see it was a dive. I just don't get how they got away with it. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. And with the whole VAR situation, they just need to scrap it because it's just making things worse. And something else that really pissed me off yesterday is it happened twice. And you're probably going to guess what I'm going to say. It happened um, shortly after kickoff in the first half, and again shortly after kickoff in the second half. Technical problems, something to do with the lino. Again, you know, just fucking scrap the whole lot. Just go back to how it used to be. Let the game flow. Let the game flow. At the same time, the ref and the lino, you know, whatever you want to call them, fourth official, blah 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 blah. Even the lot in the fucking VAR room. No, actually, scrap that one. I'll say it again. The refs, the linos, and the fourth officials, they all rely on VAR. They can't use their noddle nowadays. They have to rely on VAR. And again, it's killing the game. It's killing the system. Just go back to how it used to be. Rely on the ref, and that's it. Get on with the game. Let the game flow. You know what I mean? But them days are done now. Them days are done now, and the whole game itself is just ruined, and it's just getting worse, week by week, season by season. Another comment here, Nighttime Kid. What we need is players. Well, of course we need players. we need players, but again, rumour had it that going back to Ange Postecoglou, he wanted Semenyo. There's a few other top players that he wanted through the door. Yet Levy said no. The whole board, the Lewis family, they all said no. They all said no because we haven't got the money. We haven't got the funds to give you what you want. You know what I mean? That's complete and utter shit. Complete and utter bollocks. Complete and utter bollocks. We all know that Levy back in his days was all about getting okayish players. Yeah, he might do. Might have been a bit lucky here and there with, obviously we've got Mickey Van der Ven and Romero through the door, but you know, it still ain't good enough at the end of the day. There was all about playing low wages and that's it. Again, there's that saying of there's no ambition at the club. There is no ambition. To think what we had with Pochettino to what we got now. It's so heartbreaking to think what we did have with Poch building something very, very special. We were competing. And now look what we got now. Now look what we got now. It's just yeah, you know what I mean. It's just yeah. Another comment there, Nighttime Kid. We need players. We need quality. We need players badly. Vicario is piss poor. Draguzin, my lord. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've had enough of Vicario. I really have. I've been wanting Kingsky to have a shout, but for, you know, Kingsky wasn't even in the squad yesterday. He was injured. You know what I mean? How's he getting injured? He's not even playing. You know what I mean? It's just getting worse, isn't it? It's just getting worse. It really is. It's just getting worse. Another comment here, Nighttime Kid. When I say a lot of these players are not good enough, I've been saying get rid of these youngsters and these players who are not ready for the first team. With the youngsters, do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'd rather throw the youngsters in. Give Williams Barnett a shout. Give Byfield a chance. I'm sure. I'm sure. You know, they would. You could see they're going to try. You could see these kids will play for the crest, play for the shirt, what you want to call it. They would try. Compared to what we got now with certain players amongst that squad that have got piss poor attitude, they don't want to be there, or they're just simply not good enough. And another player that's got me thinking these past couple of weeks, someone like Archie Gray. Now he's only just turned 20, 21. I know he's not been in his natural position. He's been there. But I'm starting to think: is he even good enough? Is he even good enough to where we want to be and for where we should be? And again, think back to what we've had with Poch. There is not one player in this current squad that would get in over that squad back in the day. Not one player. Not one player. Not one player. Think back to what, you know, put it in this scenario. Harry Kane and Sonny never replaced. You know what I mean? A player like, I'm going a little while back now, but a player of Gareth Bale or Luka Modric never replaced. Never replaced. Moussa Dembele never replaced. Never replaced. Never replaced. Now we're having to deal with players like Mathis Tell, Odibert. You know what I mean? Solanke. You know what I mean? Richarlison. Gone so far backwards. So far backwards. Got another gooner in the house. Be scared of us. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared at all. You know, it is what it is. If Arsenal win the league, then so be it. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say they don't deserve it because you know they've had a decent season. You know, they've I'm not going to lie, they've crumbled it. They've crumbled from time to time with against Brentford and Wolves. I was really hoping they'd crumble against us yesterday, but that weren't the case. They managed to throw shit in our face and bag all 3 points. You know, here we are. Here we are. And if they win the league, then so be it. But there's still a long way to go yet. Still a long way to go yet. You know what I mean? They've still got to play Man City. They've still got to play Chelsea this weekend. They're only 5 points clear. A long way to go. 10, 11 games left. A long, long way to go. A long way to go. Getting through the comments. Not Tom Kid. Gray, Bergville, Saar, Basuma. These players are not good enough. If I'm going to keep anyone in that, then I'm going to keep Bergville. I've seen glimpses of Bergville. Bergville's... I know we can do better. We can do a lot better, but I'll keep hold of Bergville. Basuma, going on to yesterday's game, I thought Basuma was one of our top players yesterday. You could see he was trying. Another player that I definitely want to keep. But if we go down, then there's no point even going there. And that's Shalpalina. Shalpalina. Again, he was put out of his fucking natural position yesterday. In the end, you know, again, he plays for that crest. And if we do stay up, we have to do everything possible to keep hold of Polina. We have to. But for someone like Archie Gray, even Saar, I'm going to put Saar in that bracket. Just not cutting it for me. They're just not cutting it for me. Just not good enough. Night Tom Kid again. Piss poor, bro. Yeah. Van de Ven can go. We don't want to be here. Clearly, yeah, exactly. He wants to move. Another comment here. How the ref did not see Gabby watching Winter Olympics diving. That was unbelievable. Yeah. Another comment here. Big Pants. 8 minutes. We had to wait for the IT to resolve the problem. It's bollocks. Yeah. It took a lot of time, and it's just the whole thing about it is just shambolic, innit? It's just shambolic. Another comment here. Who we got? Juju. I think I said that right. Justice for Frank. No justice, no peace. Exactly. Look, it's there's swings and roundabouts here, and it's mixed. It's mixed emotions when it comes to Frank. Look, Thomas Frank, like I said before, and I'll say again, very nice guy, very nice manager, but he was out of his depth. And at the same time, I know injuries didn't help. Bit like Postecoglou's situation, the injuries didn't help. But again, at the same time, you can clearly see he lost the dressing room. There's certain players that just don't want to know. And we've seen it before with many other teams. You know, players start to lose trust in that manager, and then they start to play to get that manager sacked. And that's what happened. And again, I know the board and the ownership don't help in our situation, because they don't. It's a mixture of that, a mixture of this, that, and that. It's that, like I said, it's that cycle of shit that we just can't get out of. And we need massive changes. And we are rotten from top to bottom. And that's it. That is it. Big Pants again. Sorry, but I will not accept relegation. I'm not gonna sit here and accept relegation. But I'm speaking reality right now. I've got to sit here and say that we are in a relegation fight. No questions asked. We are in a relegation scrap. We are in a relegation fight. We've got to still play Wolves. We still got to play Forest. Them teams are trying. West Ham are only 4 points behind us. There's a long way to go. 11 games to go. They are on our asses. You know, we've only got to lose 2 more. West Ham picked up a couple of points, and tables are turned, and we are sucked into that bottom 3. And that's it. Job done. And I really can't see us getting out of that if that's the case. What other comments we got here, guys? Another comment. Nighttime Kid. Gray and Polinia got smoked by Eze and Chris. Yeah, absolutely. Another comment here. Replaced with garbage. Yeah, exactly. Nighttime Kid. Tell Gray Burville Spence being piss poor. From when he got the call from when he got the call up to national team. Vicario, is that meant to say Vicario? Yeah, Vicario. Yeah, exactly. Another comment here in the second half. Basuma was bad. Palhinha should go. I rate the guy. Yeah, it's like I said, if we need people like Palhinha, because you can clearly see they are trying. You can clearly see they're trying. You know what I mean? It's so heartbreaking. Another comment here, Nighttime Kid, Gallagher, great, Bentancur. These guys, same profile. I'd keep part of Gallagher. I'll keep part of Gallagher. Someone like Gallagher, we like I've said before, we need more quality in and around. It's like someone like Xavi Simons. There's very very mixed feelings when it comes to Xavi Simons. You know, I feel with Xavi Simons, he does far too much. He tries to carry the ball far too much, and he did that. He did that yesterday. When he picked that ball up, he carried it far too much when he could have passed it, could have made an early pass. Could have gone for the shot, etc., etc., etc. He just carries it far too much. He does too much. Does too much. Another comment here. Yeah, Frank needed to go. Yeah, there's exactly no questions asked on that. He had to go. Van de Ven, Romero, these players can go. They're not bigger than the club. Yeah, no player's bigger than the club. And no player is bigger than the club. No player is bigger than the club. We all know that one. Another comment here. Skybet relegation odds down to 100 to 1 in January. Now 4 to 1. Wow, fuck me. Yeah, that's not good, is it? It's not good. Nighttime Kid, get us relegated and refresh the club. Maybe if we go down, I've lost my thread. Maybe if we go down. Sorry, guys, I've lost the comment. Where is it? Skybet I've read that one, haven't I? I've lost the comment. Where the hell was that comment gone? Sorry, I've got it now. Get us relegated and refresh the club. Maybe if we go down, we can have a shake up. It's one of them ones, isn't it? If we do actually go down, can you actually see us climbing back up in the first ask? I can't see it happening. I really can't see it happening. I feel if we are going to be sucked into that bottom three and get relegated to the championship, we are going to be in the championship for a good, at least a good couple of seasons. I really can't see us getting out of it on the first ask if that's the case. Another comment here, Nighttime Kid. If we get relegated, we lose our sponsors. You saying that we're already losing sponsors. So many sponsors are dropping out already because they're scared we're going to get relegated. You know what I mean? It's bad, isn't it? It's very very bad. Guys, I've got to go shortly, but I'm just going to get to the last few comments. Please smash the likes. Get subbing to the channel if you are new. I'd really, really appreciate it. Big Pants. Every year we say clear out Deadwood. Same old, same old, same old, isn't it? It's the same old. Same old, yeah. Another comment here. Playing 5 defensive midfielders won't win you many games. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Another comment here, Nighttime Kid, big up. This club don't even want to get players we want. Exactly. It's just that same cycle of shit in it. It's you hear rumours of bit like what Postecoglou wanted. Apparently he wanted Semenyo. Even Frank wanted Semenyo. So rumour had it. You know what I mean? These are players we should be going for. Yeah, at the end of the day, they say we haven't got the money to provide. We know we've got to watch what we've got right now. We can only afford him. We can only afford that player there because that they're not going to come to this club and we're only paying them whatever so much a week. They're not going to accept it. There's just no ambition. And when I'm seeing this and I'm seeing our piss poor freaking ownership sitting there. Of course they're raking in the money. They're raking in fucking millions every season. They're raking in millions. And at the end of the day, as well as the board, they're all laughing at us. Lux and me and you have to suffer this season after season after season, going through so much pain of that cycle of shit. Yet they're laughing because they're raking in so much money. season after season. You got the tourists still going there. You know, the fans, you know, don't take this personally if, you know, guys that are watching this, but if you was at that game yesterday, before kickoff, were you buying drinks? Were you buying food? Did you go to the Spurs shop? Did you buy merchandise? Blah, 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 blah. Were you splashing the cash before kickoff? Were you splashing the cash after the game? I've said this time and time again. Until we see fucking change in our club, you boycott the club. You boycott buying merchandise. If you're going to go to watch the game itself, then so be it. But don't start buying merchandise. Don't start buying food and drink before and after the game. Go and support your local pubs. There's plenty of pubs around the ground. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? Boycott it. Boycott it. Boycott it. And, you know, the last protest we had, was about a month ago now. Only a small handful of so-called fans turned up. I know I wasn't there because I wasn't there. I wish I could have been there, but you know, I just couldn't make it that particular day. But you know, when it comes to protests, we need our voices heard. We need the bigger influencers like the Expressions, the other one, Talksport, Abby Summers, them people there. You know, they need to be speaking up and getting the likes of me and you, because I'll 100% definitely try my hardest to get to the next protest and make my fucking voice heard, because this can't continue. This cannot continue. We need the ownership gone. We need the board gone. Because if they don't go, it's just going to be the same shit time and time and time again. Time and time and time again. You know what I mean? So there's no more comments in there, guys. So, you know, it's just same old, same old, same old. And it's just a living nightmare that we just can't get out of. A living nightmare we just can't get out of. But hey, here we are. Here we are. That is me done. That is me done. That is my rant done. I will see you on the next video or my next stream. Thank you for watching. Please smash the likes. Get subscribing to the channel if you are new. Please share my channel as well. I'd really appreciate it. And slightly going off subject before I do cut this stream. I think I did put it in my description. I'm sure I put it in my description. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Yes, I did. So if you go in my description, scroll down a little bit, it says please support me in this. It's basically a little fundraiser that I'm doing as with many others up and down the UK. It's the Great Tommy Sleep Out for ex-veterans and even current veterans that are struggling to call a place home. So we're all come together this March to raise as much money as possible for these guys and for them to call, you know, have somewhere to call home. So if you could check out my little donation page, please donate whatever you can, from £1 to a £5, whatever you could afford. Please check it out. Every pound counts. We all know that one. So please check it out. So yeah, that's enough from me. Like I said, please smash the likes, get subscribing, share the channel, and as always, up the Spurs. I will see you lot on the next video. Take it easy, guys. Come on.